I really need to update you guys because I'm quitting the allotment and I need to give you the down low of what's happening. I've had the allotment for going on 4 or 5 months now. I live in the city. It's not a very big city, but it's a city nonetheless. So my allotment is not too far from my house, but to get to the kind of crux of it is that I do not feel safe there. As a single woman who is like 25, I do not feel safe being there by myself. Whenever I'm there, especially in like the cooler months, since like the height of summer, there have just been like quite a few weird encounters that I've had there, and there's never really anyone from the allotment there at the times that I'm going. And it's not even like really strange times that I'm going either. I don't think it's like typically the afternoon at the weekend, which I don't think is, you know, a strange time to be going. I'm not there in the dark. I'm very like cautious of that anyway. But yeah, lots of weird encounters there, and it's just not, I just don't feel safe being there, and I'm not enjoying my time being there. Every time that I go there, I just don't want to be there because I don't feel safe, which is not what I wanted for like the allotment at all, because I love gardening. The only reason why I don't continue the garden at home is because, well, in the capacity that it was last year, is because I would love some more space and my garden does not get a lot of sunlight. So everything takes, well, everything is really kind of stunted unless it's in one little strip along the side of my garden. So I'm definitely going to do gardening in my garden next year. But in terms of veggies and stuff like that, which I really, really, really want to grow, it's not going to be happening at the allotment. Yeah, I've just decided to make the decision not to do it, which is frustrating because we've obviously spent a lot of time getting it to a place where it's plantable, which is crazy considering what it was like when I first got it. And it's kind of really frustrating because I mean, I've practically done all of the garden beds there. I've put a lot of hours into it. However, I am not going to flog a dead horse or continue putting time into something if the outcome is not going to be what I want overall, I guess. What I'm trying to say is, I don't think there's any harm in quitting something, even if you've put a lot of time into it. It's better to waste the amount of hours that you've wasted now rather than double the amount of hours in a couple of months' time, you know? But it's kind of been a difficult decision for me to make, obviously, because it was something that I was really excited about. However, we do have a solution slash option too. So my granny and granddad live about 25 minutes away from me, 25 minutes away from me, and they have a field behind their house. So my granny and granddad have said that I can make my allotment at their house because obviously they want me to be safe, and they're not currently using the field for anything. It hasn't been used for, well, really it's never been used other than a dog walking field. But my poor baby Harry, we had to put him to sleep about 6 weeks ago. Maybe not even, yeah, 6 weeks ago. It was mid-November, 5 weeks or so. So yeah, Harry used to get walked in the field every day by my granny, but Harry is now in the garden. So yeah, basically there's no use for the field So they were more than happy for me to have my allotment there. And the reason why I didn't do that in the beginning is because it is obviously 20-25 minutes away from me, from my work, from my house. It's a bit of a trek. So yeah, it would have been great to have something closer. However, I know I can go there. I can be there at whatever time it is. I can be doing it in the dark if I really want to. If it's not too cold after work, but it's still winter, I can go there and I can work in the dark, which is something that I would not have been able to do at the allotment. And it is something that I did at my house in my garden when I was gardening. I would be gardening in the dark sometimes because I work 9 to 5 and my daylight hours at the weekend are limited. But yeah, basically I know that I can go there and I will feel 100% safe. It's a little bit out on the sticks, and my granny and granddad's house is literally right there. My granny and granddad can watch me from the kitchen, which I'll probably enjoy doing anyway. And also, now that my grandparents are getting a bit older, I kind of have been wanting to get into the habit of going over there kind of once a week anyway, just to check that they're okay, bring them some bread or something, so I can at least tie it in with that, so I'll be able to see them and help them more, even if it's just bringing them stuff when I'm coming over to like do the garden. And I just think it was mentally such a lot of effort for me to go to the allotment because I didn't feel safe. And the thought of me going to my granny and granddad's house is so much easier for me, like mentally, to comprehend with. And also it means I can have all of the compost from their garden. They've got a massive garden with so many trees and bushes, so there's so much leaf mold. And they have a gardener who can just like put it to one side for me. So yeah, I'm feeling very grateful that my granny and granddad have allowed me to do this, because the last thing that I wanted was to like give up growing vegetables, because I've gotten this far in my life. Like, I spent however long I was saving up buying for a house, thinking, okay, like this is perfect. I've now got my house, I can grow all the vegetables that I want, blah blah. And then I obviously had my season of growing here, which was incredible, but really my garden doesn't have the sunlight to allow for me to do that as much as I want to. And that is my hobby. So I mean, I would find a way to do it either way. Whether it would be like me buying a field or closer to my house, I don't know. I would have made it work if the allotment wasn't an option, or we would have moved allotments or something like that anyway. But I'm just feeling very happy, grateful and excited. So yeah, bit of a turn of events, because we've obviously done a lot of work on this, but I just thought, you know what, after the last encounter that I had yesterday, I'm just going to bite the bullet, and we're just going to not we're just gonna cut it before we get to the new year, and we can go into the new year fully doing garden prep to transform some of my granny and granddad's field into a vegetable garden. So with that being said, I'm currently sat with my iPad and I'm drawing out what I want the garden to look like, and thoughts, feelings, everything about what I want to do, what I want to grow, and basically just planning the space. I really do need to decide how I want to do this, whether I'm going to do in-ground gardening, which is what I was kind of planning on doing at the allotment, because it's obviously cheaper than raised beds. However, because my granny and granddad's field is very accessible, it means that when I eventually move house and can set up my dream garden at my house, I'll be able to take everything from my granny and granddad's, I'll literally be able to put a trailer into the field, load it onto the trailer, whereas I would not have been able to do that for the allotment. It would have been so much more like manual labour and time. So essentially what I'm saying is I will happily spend money on setting up the garden setup at my granny and granddad's because I know that I'll be able to take it with me. So with that being said, I might maybe do metal garden beds because I've just bought one for my garden. I built it the other day. It was really easy to build. It did take a while, but I think it was just because I had long nails on. And my nails are not normally this long, but I got them done a couple of weeks ago. Because I'd like bitten off all of my nails and they looked really not cute, and I had a lot of work stuff, so I got acrylics for the first time in years, and I'm loving how tappy they are. The cats also love the tappy nails, and they also love my nails, so I can like scratch them. They love it. But they do get in the way a bit when I'm trying to do blue jobs, so I'm going to shorten these. I think I'm going to paint them red for Christmas. I don't know when I'm going to upload this, but we'll see. If I get my act together, I might just edit it now and upload it as a quick little upload, but who knows if that's going to happen. So yeah, I might do metal garden beds because they should last pretty long. But I'm not sure because originally in my head when I moved out, I was going to build, well, not me personally, I think I was going to pay for someone to build them just so that they're done correctly. Build garden beds out of bricks. I've seen those on Instagram. Not on Instagram, on Pinterest. They look stunning, and I have really gone off the idea of wooden raised beds just because they're going to rot eventually. So I've really gone off that idea. But brick beds are obviously going to cost quite a big upfront sum of money for what am I saying? For the brick beds. So I don't know. I need to think about whether I'm going to do in-ground or the raised beds. And also if I have the raised beds, it means if Granny and Grandad want to go in, walk around, like pick some vegetables, that'll be much easier for them, not having to bend down to the floor. Like if I'm not there and they want to do that for dinner or whatever. I'm definitely going to do some in-ground because I think that just works for certain things better than others. Maybe I do like a border with metal beds. I don't know. Maybe leave your suggestions in the comments for me down below and I'll figure out what it is that I want to do. I'm really not sure. This is why I'm having this like planning day though. And then I need to plan it out what I'm going to do on paper. I'm going to get polytunnels too. So excited because I can get more than one. I can get a big one. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And I'm going to get a peach tree. Oh, I feel like this is just going to next level. Like what we would have been able to do at the allotment is like down here compared to what we're going to be able to do at Granny and Grandad's. It'll be like up here. It's going to be so good. So good. I can't wait. I'm really, really excited. It's going to be a hell of a lot of work, but it'll be fine. We can do it. I'm also going to need to find somewhere to get bulk deliveries of wood chip and soil compost as well. So those are two things that I need to do, and also figure out how I'm going to compost because I can get a proper composting system. Oh my gosh, I'm actually going to be able to do everything that I want to do in my dream garden, but now I'm at my granny and granddad's house, and then I'll just move it, or maybe I'll just move into my granny and granddad's house, who knows. Yeah, oh, I'm so excited for this. I think this is going to be really, really exciting, and I'm really, really excited to take you along on the journey with me. Please give me any ideas, because at the moment it is a bare field, but I really want it to be aesthetic. I want to be able to have picnics, and I want to have like a little fire pit. I was thinking maybe have a fire pit in the middle of all of the garden beds, so that in the summer we can be sat there, and when I tell you the sunsets from my granny and granddad's house looking over that field, I've seen some of the best sunsets I've ever seen in my life from there. And now I can build my dream garden there. I'm sorry, what? Crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna go and get planning. Please leave me any thoughts, feelings, recommendations, prayers down below, because Lord knows I need them. Yeah, I'm gonna carry on planning and yeah, try and figure my life out for next year's garden, because everything is being flipped on its head from where it was a few weeks ago. Yeah, I'm really keen to get started, and I'm really, really keen to get some work done and started on the new garden before I go back to work. This is literally all I'm going to be thinking about over Christmas. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, is that something in my teeth? I don't know what that was. I did go to the dentist earlier. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I am sorry the uploads have not been there, but I think, to be honest, that's partly been part of the struggle with the allotment as well, is that it's been such a mental slog to go, because I've felt really unsafe there, and I've just not, my heart's not been in it. I've not been as passionate about it. Gardening as a whole, I'm passionate about the gardening itself, but when it comes to actually doing it, it was just very strange, not very me-like at all. But yeah, very excited for the next year. I'm very excited to share it with you. So I'll catch you in the next one.